the greatest happiness for the greatest number. Jeremy Bentham, 1748–1832. Jeremy Bentham, a legal reformer and philosopher, was convinced that all human activity was driven by only two motivating forces: the avoidance of pain and the pursuit of pleasure. In the Principles of Morals and Legislation, 1789, he argues that all social and political decisions should be made with the aim of achieving the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. Bentham believes that the moral worth of such decisions relates directly to their utility, or efficiency, in generating happiness or pleasure. In a society driven by this utilitarian approach, he claims that conflicts of interest between individuals can be settled by legislators, guided solely by the principle of creating the broadest possible spread of contentment. If everyone can be made happy, so much the better, but if a choice is necessary, it is always preferable to favor the many over the few. One of the main benefits of his proposed system, Bentham states, is its simplicity. By adopting his ideas, you avoid the confusions and misinterpretations of more complex political systems that can often lead to injustices and grievances. Calculating pleasure. More controversially, Bentham proposes a philosophic calculus that can express mathematically the degree of happiness experienced by each individual. Using this precise method, he states, provides an objective platform for resolving ethical disputes, with decisions being made in favor of the view that is calculated to produce the highest measure of pleasure. Bentham also insists that all sources of pleasure are of equal value, so that the happiness derived from a good meal or close friendship is equal to that derived from an activity that may require effort or education, such as engaging in philosophical debate or reading poetry. This means that Bentham assumes a fundamental human equality, with complete happiness being accessible to all, regardless of social class or ability. In context, branch, ethics, approach, utilitarianism. Before. Late 4th century BCE, Epicurus states that the main goal of life should be the pursuit of happiness. Early 17th century, Thomas Hobbes argues that a strong legal system, with severe penalties for criminals, leads to a stable and happier society. Mid-18th century David Hume claims that emotion governs our moral judgment. After mid-19th century John Stuart Mill advocates education for all, arguing that it would improve general happiness. Late 19th century Henry Sidgwick says that how moral an action is equates directly to the degree of pleasure it brings.